Guys, what would happen if I made a classic Bloons TD Battles tournament that is set to get this, one life only? Well, this happens. Also completely disregard the fact that we're sitting at 2 lives here, cause both players are essentially going to play like there's 1 life anyway. Plus it's the lowest that I can set it for some reason, at least until the minimum round limit of 5 hits, at which point both players will drop to 1 life, assuming both still have the same amount of lives left. And silly me forgot to ban cobras for this challenge, but thankfully no one in these matches brought it along for the attrition, and those who did get punished by not having their game featured on video. Truly the vilest of punishments, insert devil face. But yeah, can someone honestly explain to me why Ninja Kiwi decided to put the lower bound of lives to 2 instead of 1? What were they trying to accomplish by doing that? Maybe they wanted people to stop using clickbait 1 life titles like I'm doing right now, but that certainly ain't gonna prevent me from doing that. As I said earlier, 2 lives left versus 1 life left is basically no different in terms of how the game will play out. You're going to want to play like a pussy no matter what, because if you happen to be greedy and let a blue balloon slip by, it's going to look real embarrassing for you. Better safe than sorry. I can't speak for myself though, just watch to see how safely I play these games, well for the most part. Bless the 3 starting road spikes. Without it these games would have been 1,000 times more hectic, which to be honest may have been an even better blessing, cause who doesn't like playing crazy games where both players are hanging by a thread instead of being given the giant road spike safety cushion at the start? I certainly wouldn't mind that actually. Anyways, I'm surprised this game made it as far as it did, only to end up with a super anticlimactic round 12 death because my opponent couldn't afford combo detection. Yeah, village tack and chipper is not the kind of loadout you would want to be bringing if you don't have much wiggle room to work with. That's why I went for a really weird combination of towers that somehow worked, cause each tower on their own's got some sort of detection versus every kind of balloon. On to the next 1 life match versus period, and I'm just gonna go for the same boat plus wizard combo along with chipper just cause I can. I think that's all I'm gonna commentate regarding this 1 life fiesta for now. As I said before, my brain generally sputters if I talk about straight up balloons for any more than 2 to 3 minutes. So what else is on the table? Well, how about some news? You know who else had 1 life? Stephen Hawking. And now he is 0 because the ALS attrition ability took away his final sliver of health. Damn, what a shame. He was one of us. What a sad week it is for everyone around the world, and therefore the universe. You know, me and Stephen Hawking had a lot in common, which is why personally his death hits really close to home. We were both one of the few people in the world to possess both a human voice and a computer voice once in our lives. We both went to quote-unquote prestigious universities. We both took a physics class sometime during our education. We are both male. We lived on the same planet. We both wondered how it would be like to die. And there's so much more I can list, but I'll keep it short cause all you need to take away from this is that I'm deeply saddened by this tragic loss of a great and brilliant individual. He really made us think, and proved to us that bodies are simply just bodies, and as long as your mind is still there you can accomplish anything. And this really made us wonder whether we could transcend human limits, you know, to be able to live without our physical beings and only our minds and nothing else. That's pretty crazy to speculate about and almost impossible to believe, but hey, I can't doubt him when he says we can eventually get there one day. Too bad he won't be there to see it unfold, and neither will I and any of you listening most likely, but damn. Damn. That's all I have to say. I already talked for like hours on end about space and death in the previous 2 videos, so I will direct you to that if these tears streaming down your face is renewing your interest into such subjects, but you really don't see this kind of stuff coming even though you know people like Hawking are defying the odds and living on borrowed time. On the topic of high-profile deaths, here's a question to you. Whose celebrity death hit you hard and why? I don't mean to break out the tissue box, but I'm just curious to know. Plus I just shared my similar story even though only 60% of it is true. I know there's another couple of recent losses that's hit close to home, but I'll hold off on that and just let you guys discuss, okay? So I'll jump on over to the next topic somebody has suggested, and it's something about the ocean. The ocean, sure. Not sure what exactly to talk about regarding the ocean, but I'll try. Let's start off by saying it's deep. Not as deep as the Raptors bench, but it's deep. Especially Marianas Trench. It was so deep that they decided to name it after a famous band whose lyrics were really deep. That should put it into perspective how goddamn deep the ocean is if you weren't able to understand the scope of it initially. But yeah, with it being so deep, I am quite fascinated by the kind of things that can possibly live that far down. Like I've seen pictures of the kind of creatures that live there out of curiosity a couple of times, and goddamn are they terrifying and spooky. The fact that they can physically adapt to survive under such conditions is astonishing, with it being pitch black and freezing cold and all, on top of being squashed with pressure hundreds of thousands of times stronger than surface level. That to me is the craziest thing about it, like if you were to suddenly teleport a couple thousand meters below sea level, you would implode immediately. But why do these creatures not implode? How do their bodies adapt to such pressure? Now a quick Google search will probably give me the answer, but I'm too lazy to do that. I'm just here to discuss the quirks of the ocean and bringing up some fascinating questions about it along the way. But yeah, I guess it's not too surprising stuff can live down there. I mean, humans were able to send themselves all the way down to the bottom of the ocean multiple times before, and their submarine was fully intact and able to handle the pressure. Which is another crazy thing to think about. Imagine going into the depths of the ocean in that sub and seeing the vast emptiness that lies below, knowing that you'd get squashed the moment any crack starts to form on the sub. Once that happens, you got no chance basically, unlike other unlikely survival chances if a crack were to form in, say, a plane. Sure, 90% of the time you're dead and you got 10 minutes to think long and hard about your fate, but it ain't the end since there's a chance your pilots come in clutch. I'm kind of getting carried away here, so let me wrap up what I have to say about the ocean. It's big, and it's deep, insert cheesy joke here. But it's just as fascinating as space, to be honest, because of how difficult it is to physically explore, on top of the fact that a lot of it has still indeed yet to be explored. Like, this is our own planet, and despite that, there are places a 7+ billion people have yet to come across, not just the ocean depths even, but places like my basement's basement and the Earth's mantle. Yeah, sorry to break it to you guys, but the core was fake. Nobody has drilled into nor actually stepped foot into the mantle before. If they did, then they would turn into some fine-ass particles pretty quickly. So yeah, that about wraps up what I have to say regarding the ocean. I don't really want to talk about other stuff such as what the original comment mentioned, cause that isn't really my area of knowledge, so I got no news about discovering strange uses for sea creatures. Let us just return to this one life blasphemy. So far I've played it pretty safe and it's worked wonders, but as for my opponents, not so much, especially some who have goofed it up pretty hard. Can't I make it a grand sweep with this final match? Perhaps, but Swan Lake is one of those maps I generally struggle on cause my boat placement is trash. Or rather, it keeps shooting at places that aren't that great to shoot at, which means I have to pay a little extra if I want to ensure no life leakage. Even more annoying is that the balloon ends are on opposite sides, so the balloons going towards the exit are going to be overlapped by less important ones. No worries, just spike the damn bugger right. Yeah, totally. Don't mind me as I place this road spike 1 pixel behind this swiftly blazing yellow balloon. Wow. What a way to go out and end the video. Great job, ISAB. Quality game, but that's the kind of shit that goes down when you got only one heart to play with. So if you wanna see more One Life action, hit me up down below. Or maybe a certain 3-tower loadout I can playing around with during stream, that works too. And topics of interest, of course, I'll need those to fill in the gaps often. Have a scientific day.